No,
You what?
Yeah. Right.
Ready?
Yeah.
3.
Hello and welcome to Tea in the VIP. I am with a special guest today, Mr. Robert Grace. Welcome.
Nice to see you, T. This is going to be our first kind of broadcast from the showroom.
Yes.
And we're going to do hopefully get a few guests in over
will.
the next few months to chat about our journey so far.
That's right. How did the journey start?
The journey started with me being asked to decorate a bike some years ago by a German company, and they sent the bike over. And when we got the bike over here, we put it together and we were whizzing it around, and the technology was brilliant. It was kind of like a old-fashioned moped kind of shaped step through, but the technology was brilliant, and we decided to just say, look, there was nothing like it in the UK at the time. Let's go ahead and start looking at designing our own, and that's where we got to really with the bikes. It was supposed to be decorating one, and that was about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Found a company in China that we have a JV with, a tech company in Shenzhen, and Shenzhen's where most of the technology is developed and built now. Great factory, but that's it. That's where it actually started, by being asked to decorate a bike. So you know as well as I do, we're not car salesmen. We're certainly not car salesmen. And then obviously I was fortunate enough to get this showroom. I stepped into the lease because of Paul at Volkswagen gave us that opportunity, because this was a Volkswagen showroom. And almost to the day that I moved in here was when you happened to be riding by.
That's right.
Serendipity at its best, I think.
Definitely.
And we've kind of seen each other almost every day since. And that was, we incorporated in 2020, July the company was incorporated in 2020. And the journey's been crazy, crazy, the growth.
It has. Why the chopper style?
I think the holy grail of design is to try and retain something of the old, but reinventing it. So this certainly looks like an electric bike, but it's got some of the old-fashioned traditional values to it, and I think that that's a great combination. It has to be an entry-level bike, because we can't compete with, you can't preach to the converted in the motorbike industry. So we had to look at doing something that was entry-level, and obviously you can ride these on a CBT with a learner's license. They're registered as mopeds, and then as our innovation develops, we can look at increasing motor sizes, frame sizes, and battery sizes.
I see. And I can see that you've incorporated a lot of art into Stirling Eco's range.
Well, as you know, T, we're all creatives here. Anne-Marie with the gallery at the Bickerton Grace gallery is the biggest part of what we're doing, because this is all about art and less pollution.
Yep.
So that's the art side of it is what sets us aside from our peers. We're not after all these Uber Eats type contracts where people are just tearing each other up for the same projects. We're doing something that is slightly different, and it works. It's working for us. These bikes are affordable, and they're beautifully decorated if people want them to be beautifully decorated, using the finest artists in the world, and that's a fact. So it almost sets us aside. We are in our niche by doing that, and it's been a really good business for us.
It has. Can you tell us about some challenges that we've had to face along the way?
Bureaucracy and red tape is probably the hardest thing. Obviously, you've been here from day one, and you're asking the questions, but you've experienced all this as well.
I have.
We've had no help whatsoever from the government, and in fact, the government kind of, although preaching to be really, really trying to help, they've tightened the screw. The ULEZ grant has come down. They are tightening the screw with everybody. So bureaucracy's been the hardest point. When we first got the bikes over to get them registered, then to get them onto the insurance, the codes that we had to get together.
Yeah. API codes.
We've never been able to get the grant properly sorted out. and it was 1,200 when we started in 2020. It's about 150 quid now.
So they kept moving the goalposts, right?
Yeah, and it's barely worth the admin for the grant now. We keep having to revisit it, and as you know, I handed a business card to the Mayor of London in the car to his bodyguard in his V8 Range Rover that he rides around in convoy.
Yeah.
And we wrote to the Mayor's office and said, look, we're less than a mile from your office. We have the biggest electric motorbike showroom in London, which is situated between the two busiest petrol stations in London, and an invitation to pop down. No, let me refer you to TfL. I'm chairman of TfL. TfL don't respond. And when they do, it's, would you like to make an apology? Would you like an apology? Would you like to make a complaint? Was what the message. So we don't get any help from the government or the bureaucrats, and there's a lot of red tape to go through with this. But I think we've navigated our way through that, and as we've progressed as a company, we've had the right people joining us and helping us on our journey. And
that leads me to my next question, actually. So from opening the doors in lockdown to where we are today, how have you been able to manage with the demand? Because obviously London is where the head office is, the headquarters, but there's people from all over the country that want to see these electro rides.
Yeah, well, they are travelling now from all over the country. So if we take it back to where our paths crossed and you came in, and then that week you started working, basically, you've been the social media whiz with all of this, and me not being a motorbike or car salesman, it's been a baptism of fire for both of us, because we've been in at the start. Anne-Marie built the website to begin with, and did all of the admin for us, and none of us really knew what we were doing. Building website, we knew kind of what we were doing, but on the admin side, we didn't really know what we were doing, and we're kind of learning as we go along. Then, because we were trapped in lockdown with this beautiful showroom here, not being able to open the doors, of course, you and I, we were out and about all the time. That's where we met Alan, and Alan just opened a massive doors for us in terms of who, in the celebrity world, and images and content for the social media, which has driven this company, because everybody pretty much knows who we are social media wise, and not spending massive amounts of money in advertising, which we didn't have, because it's all self-financed, and so meeting people out on the street, each and every one of the bikes is an advert in itself, because they look so different, and we get stopped obviously everywhere we go.
Do you think that was an advantage to us, that personal connection with all of our customers?
I think so, because people, and again, there's nothing corporate about us, although halfway through our second year in business, we now have a corporate tie in America with Peter that's just joined the company, which we can speak about. But I think people gravitate towards us because we're just normal people. When there's nothing.
Do you remember the quote that they gave us for our first documentary? Unconventional friendship.
Yeah, between me and you. Yeah, and it is, if you think about it. At the time I thought, what did they mean by that? But it is. We've got an age difference. A massive age difference.
Generation difference.
The generation difference. Yeah. But I think that's really worked in terms of what we're doing, because I feel a little bit like a vampire drinking your energy sometimes. You know what I mean? Because you've got such a drive and ambition, and I've got a little bit more experience, and it's a good combo, and it has worked considering that you and I pretty much didn't know what we were doing to begin with. Yeah. So
we found our feet pretty well.
Yeah, and people coming in and just talking to us. We never do a hard push, hard sell with anything. These bikes are what they are. They start at 2,650 quid. They are what they are, but they're perfectly functional. They're super smart. We've never had any problems mechanically with our bikes.
Yep. We've actually never serviced our bikes as well since first getting them.
Yeah, that's right. And
on purpose.
We haven't serviced them, so that we can just see how they perform and what would happen if something does go wrong. And we're waiting for something to go wrong with them, basically. So they're super reliable. And so affordability was crucial. Prince Charles mentioned sustainability has to be affordable. Functionality, reliability, and servicing and aftercare as well. You know, we carry all the spare parts and aftercare.
Where would you say we sit amongst the other competitors in the electric vehicle market?
Well, we don't see our competitors as competitors, right? Because we're circular in our beliefs, you know, and circularity means collaboration, not competition, because competition creates overproduction, and overproduction creates more pollution.
Yeah.
You know, so we've invited our so-called competitors in here to showcase their products, because we're all fighting different battles, but it's all in the same war.
That's right.
And I think that we're confident enough in what we're producing and what we're offering to people, not to be frightened by our competitors, but to embrace their journey too. Really, I think that's important for us. And we make lots of friends that way too. You know, we got, and all the good people stay with us.
Yeah,
you know,
become family.
They do, yeah, and all the bad ones bounce off, don't they? Really. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Stirling Eco, am I right in saying the first company to have a black label collection?
Yeah. So as you know, we've got the art bikes with Dave Bristow. So Dave Bristow, Airbrush Art School, Extreme Art Studios. He's in the top 3 airbrush artists in the world. I approached him, told him what we were trying to do, and to be able to offer one of our art bikes for less than £5,000 is unprecedented with the quality of the work and the quality of the product. My previous life, I was with Grace of London, creating quite expensive pieces of artwork. I specialise in gilding and 24 karat gold, so it would always have been my intention to launch and release a black label collection using 24 karat gold and crystal. And we're in the process of doing that now. I said that if our paths hadn't crossed, but when they did, almost immediately, then I don't know how I would have coped with this business as it is as a whole now, and I probably would have just concentrated on making quite expensive bikes.
High profile clients.
High profile clients, yeah. So the business morphed in a different way, and now's the time to start talking about the black label collection.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to settle down now. We've got Cliff that's joined our company, and the pressure is all of a sudden there's a pressure valve gone.
Yeah.
Because you know how bad we are at admin and all that. So and Cliff's the man to take care of all of that.
He is.
He's super smart.
In a very short space of time, we've made a lot of partnerships, if you can remember, from the beginning until now.
Yeah, yeah.
Formula Woman. Who else?
So with MV's a big one. So Peter Kimberley was a very, very established, smart guy. Introduced us to MV, which is a PLC, and they have licenses for Warner and what have you, and Disney and other companies. It's given us the opportunity to carry mobility stock now, the electric push bike and the stand-on scooters, without having to invest in huge quantities of stock or finance huge quantities of stocks. But so we've got that product because they have it.
Yeah.
And we are now their London stockist. Brilliant. And vice versa, we have our bikes opening when they open their showroom in Birmingham, which is that's a great collaboration there.
Yeah.
But we've got SBID, the Society of British and International Design, the MCIA, which, I mean, they really do know what they're talking about. They speak a different language. And who else? Who else have we got to?
Partnerships, we have...
Formula Woman's great.
Formula Woman, yep.
That's going to be a really big thing this year, finding the first Formula racing car, female racing car driver. And so the winner wins a Formula GT contract. We've got lots of partnerships with celebrities as well that have gravitated towards us as well. Instigated.
Do you remember our first celebrity that interacted with us?
No, which one?
Keith Lemon.
Keith, yeah. Keith was the biggest at the time, wasn't he? So he came in. And that was when we were out with Alan, with his Eagle Eye Alan. his photographer's eye, and he spotted him in the.
Yeah.
And from that moment, with the three of us out riding, great things have happened in the celebrity world because Keith loves the products, and he's been inspirational to us.
Yeah.
So from that chance meeting with Keith, we've had a lot of celebrities now gravitating towards us, and they're getting more and more, which is good. It's good. Our message is art and less pollution. It's a non-political message. We don't get embroiled in any of the politics or anything. As I've said to everybody, that we have to be our own political party.
Yeah.
There's nothing political out there that's going to help us.
That's right.
We just have to be determined to move forward in our non-political way, with a message of art and less pollution.
So we done our first show at Motorcycle Live in December. Looking back on it now, would you say you're ready for another show?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So it was a baptism of fire. Our stand looked like a Find a Friend photo album, didn't it? So we didn't really know what we were doing or what to expect, only that we know we were going to come face to face with ticket paying manufacturers, but ticket paying public bikers, hardcore bikers. So it was going to be a baptism of fire for us. And as you know, at one point I think everybody was on the stand. Lucky, Rain, Alan,
me, you,
Anne-Marie,
Alan, yeah,
we were all on the stand at one point, and we were busy constantly
all day.
And I think the overwhelming judgment, I guess, from bikers is that they really appreciate what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we know that the technology is so fluid and moving at such a pace that our technology will cross the paths of these hardcore bikers, and we will have a product that suits their needs.
Definitely.
Very, very soon.
We started with 30 miles range on a battery.
Yeah.
Shortly after 39 miles, and then soon 90 miles.
That's right. Yeah. So we've got and that's just on the one model. And obviously we've had the upgrade on the springs for the Electro Ride X. The Electro Ride is our iconic bike. The Electro Ride X has a upgraded suspension and battery. And
lights.
And then our new X Plus, when it comes in, we'll have a 50 Ah battery and the upgraded suspension. It's 2.5 times the bike of our original bike in less than 18 months from us being incorporated. And that's how quickly this technology is moving. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be another year or so when we really do have something. We'll do the bike show this year in December. Next December, I think we'll have that product that the hardcore bikers will be really tuned into.
That leads me on to my next question as well. Where do you see us in the next year?
All right, so we've got a real great group of people that are in and around this company, and that's growing constantly. And everybody, to a man, and Anne-Marie as well. So everybody that is included in the group of these people are pretty much the best at what they do in their industries. Mm-hmm. So we've got a great group of people like that. And of course, as you know, about 5 months ago, I think we met up with Peter Georgiopoulos. Had a great connection with him, and he loved what we have achieved. He's a former investment banker living in New York, and he is a shipping company owner. He is now a company director and a shareholder, and he's helping us to roll this out across America. And we now have somebody in the boardroom. We've got a great group that advise us of people that I've met along my journey, which are very, very influential people that are friends that always offer an ear or advice. And now we have Peter on board as a director and a shareholder who can work in the corporate world for us, and he's opening those doors. So we can now concentrate more on what we're good at, which is the creativity, the innovation, and let Peter take care of all the corporate stuff. Cliff's taking care of our admin and operations.
Yep.
And the core of us, Anne-Marie, Alan, you, myself, we can concentrate on what we're good at, creating beautiful pieces of artwork, and of course Dave Bristow, which is crucial to on the art side of things. We can concentrate on what we do, which is putting beautiful products on the table, and we have the right people in the same room with us now to be able to roll this out in a corporate way. And of course we've got John Hart at LDS Design, the lunatic that can draw anything. So he's key to what we do as well, because when we come up with ideas, somebody has to translate our ideas into practical application, and he's the guy that can do that as well at LDS. So we've got a really great team around us, which is growing at the right pace as well.
That's right, yeah.
It's growing at the right pace. And when we step across to America, as you know, this summer we're going to have a pop-up shop in the Hamptons. And then that roadshow we're going to take across to the West Coast as the weather changes on the East Coast. And we'll have our first permanent shop in LA. So those are the plans.
Yeah.
We're building a good, fine British brand here at Stirling Eco. And I'm proud of everybody that's gravitated towards this, and I can't praise everybody enough for the effort that they've all put in, because without each key piece of the puzzle, we wouldn't be where we were.
That's right.
Or where we are now.
Okay, so here's a wild one for you then. If you could choose one person to join Team Stirling Eco, who would it be?
One person. Well, that's quite a difficult one, T, because...
And in whatever capacity, so it could be your favourite singer or just anyone.
Elvis Presley. No, I'm joking. No, I think that everybody that's fallen into place, and serendipity is massive with this company, because we were talking 10 minutes before it actually happened about the America thing.
Yeah.
How we want, and the phone
connection
call,
out there,
and how we needed the connection. Working with Peter Kimberley, Paul Tanner, Allendale Volkswagen has been a key to us being able to step into and negotiate with the Al Gandhi Group in the UAE. So there are so many people that have all stepped forward and offered something and not asked for anything in return as well. And that's that's a great feeling for everybody here. We're bumping along.
We are.
And things almost, although sometimes feel like a jumble, they're all falling into place.
That's right.
Yeah. With any new business, and this is something that we never ever in a million years, both you and I because we're here every day, wouldn't have expected to be selling motorbikes, but art bikes.
Yeah.
They're art bikes, and that's really is the difference. That's what sets us aside from them. There's nobody in the world doing what we're doing, and that's great for us. And we just need to be the best at what we do, and to be the most affordable as well. Great challenges.
That's a smart answer. You didn't answer.
I didn't answer. Yeah, that was political, wasn't it? Yeah. So, no, I don't think there's any one particular at the moment, because the right people are falling into place at the right time. The Rock.
That has been the story from the beginning, actually.
The Rock would be a good one.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Interesting, you say that. I think he's in London, actually.
Who, The Rock?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
So.
Alan. Get your radar on.
Well, thank you anyway.
Yeah.
And this is episode 1 of Tea in the VIP with founder Robert Grace of Stirling Eco.